Our native white-clawed crayfish used to be widespread across England and Wales, but have been in severe decline since the 1970s, and at least 80% of the original populations have been wiped out. The main cause of this is the introduction of signal crayfish in the 1970s and 80s. They carry a disease called crayfish plague, which is fatal to white-clawed crayfish, and also outcompete and predate their smaller and less aggressive cousins. In Devon we have just 2 white-clawed crayfish populations left, and one of those is on our own River Culm in the Blackdown Hills. Believed to have died out in the 1980s, we rediscovered them at Culmstock Bridge in 2005. Surveys since then have found whiteclaws between Culmstock and Hemyock along the Culm, but also a population of signal crayfish spreading up and downstream from Whitehall. The voracious signal crayfish can reduce populations of other river wildlife such as invertebrates and fish, and their burrowing activities cause siltation and riverbank erosion. In 2018, the AOMB was lucky enough to get Heritage Lottery funding for the Culm Community Crayfish Project. As well as raising awareness of our special crayfish amongst the local community, we organised a comprehensive survey of the Culm catchment. With the help of some amazing volunteers, we surveyed the Culm from Culm nearly to its source, plus 2 tributaries, the Madford and Bollum rivers, and several pond sites. We found that whiteclaws are present from Hemyock all the way down to 5 fords near Culm, but signal crayfish are present in the Madford and Bollum rivers and downstream of our whiteclaws at Culm. Even worse, the crayfish on the Madford River tested positive for crayfish plague, which could easily spread to our whiteclaws downstream. Discovering that our native crayfish are in an even more precarious position than we thought, the AOMB started to look for ways of helping our special Culm residents. In 2019, we teamed up with Paynton Zoo, who set up a facility to house and breed captive-bred Culm whiteclaws. Descendants of animals are collected in 2015 and 2016 for the Bristol Zoo breeding programme, and some of our regular volunteers located some potential ARC sites, safe places where we can release and nurture captive-bred crayfish, and carrying out initial tests and surveys. In the meantime, Paynton Zoo secured funding for a 2-year Devon ARC site project, which means we can develop that work and extend it to the other Devon whiteclaw populations on the Creedy Yeo River near Crediton. Sadly, due to COVID-19, we are unable to make a start this year, but things are back on track for 2021. Despite COVID, we have managed to get out crayfishing this year, surveying the Sheldon Stream, a tributary running northwards to enter the Culm at 5 fords. It's great to see so many of our brilliant volunteers from 2018. I think some of them may have caught the crayfish bug. We survey using a combination of searching under rocks, kick sampling, and setting artificial refuge traps, which mimic the natural places a crayfish would hide. Unfortunately, we haven't found any whiteclaws and have found yet another signal crayfish population, making the need for ARC sites even more pressing. As this year's crayfishing season comes to a close, we will look back on a challenging but nonetheless productive and rewarding year,